Welcome back to the Strong with Julie podcast. It's been a minute and we have a new setup today, which is kind of exciting. I put my camera up and honestly guys, I spent probably 30 minutes just deciding where the heck I want to put the camera and if I want to go sit on the couch or have a cute background. And I was like, you know what, let's get raw and real and just sit in my normal seat downstairs. If I'm not walking on my treadmill desk, I come sit down here because Gus can roam freely down here. Upstairs there's a bit much that he can get into right now in his puppy stages still. But today's episode is going to be just start. It's going to be about just starting your fitness journey, just taking the first step, and ironically I'm using it for myself to just start up my podcast again because it's been a little while. Honestly, I am a little busy, right? I do my online coaching, I have St. Pete Girls Who Walk that I'm running, and honestly, that's it. So maybe I do have time for this, but I just felt like I was being pulled in different directions, and I felt like this was where I wanted to be tonight. What I wanted to talk about is super important, and I think this message is going to be important for a lot of people out there, and I'm playing with a bottle cap. So what we're going to do is have a few segments today. We're going to have news of the week, upcoming events, and yeah, my computer's right here because I need to remember what we're going to talk about. Upcoming events, favorite things, and then we're gonna jump right into the episode. It'll probably be a short, quick one takeaway because you can always go back to it when you need to just start again. News of the week this week is that I was actually on the news, which is so cool and so exciting and fun, and we were on for St. Pete Girls Who Walk, myself and Victoria, and we went on Channel 8, which is the Tampa local news, I think, and I was so nervous. I said YOLO on live television. When I watched it back, I was like, oh no, why did I do that? But I think it's fine. It sounded fine, and everything else went smoothly. My family was texting me today. They were like, great job, you did amazing. So I think, you know, when you do something and you just get so in your head about it, breathe, it's fine, you'll move on, it'll be good. Yeah, the YOLO moment was definitely a funny one that Brett and I laughed about this morning, but we can get over it. And yeah, it was scary, but I'm happy that we did it. The amount of DMs that I got today and girls that joined our group me saying they saw it on the TV was so cool and exciting, and I just can't wait to connect with them. So that moves us into upcoming events. This weekend we have a boat ride, so this was one that you would have had to already sign up for. So if you're located in St. Pete, Tampa, Clearwater, this area, then you can join the group me and see if anyone is selling their tickets, but tickets are all full now. We got 52 girls going, so lots of people, but you can post in the group me and say, hey, anyone selling their ticket, you know, if they can't go or something happened, and then you can jump in. But that's on Saturday. It's an all-day kind of thing. We did it back in October and it was so much fun, so I can't wait. And then that next day is Sunday. The walk, instead of at 10 a.m., we're giving you to 11:30, so you can have a little bit more of a sleep in post boat day, and then we can go have fun on our walk. Cool. Now I want to do a little favorite things segment. We used to do this a little while back, and I loved it because then I could just share little knickknacks or hair products, nails, makeup, because you guys know when I like something, I typically just stick to it and I don't change it around too much. So if I like something, I really like it. Now it's a 10. I got it from Marshall's and I put it in my hair. I actually didn't put it in my hair today, so this is just air dried hair from this morning after my Peloton ride that I got so sweaty in. It was a arms country ride for 30 minutes and it was a sweaty one. But anyways, it's a 10. You spray it in your hair. I think it's kind of like a protectant, but it helps men's split ends. It just, if I put it on and then put actual heat protectant on and then straighten and blow dry my hair, it looks so shiny, so soft. The split ends, spikies are not there, and I really like it. So it's a 10 is the one that is my favorite this week. Now let's move on to how you're gonna just start, okay? Enough babbling, let's get to business. These are 6 ways that if you're feeling in a funk, if you're feeling like you never really started your fitness journey before and you're not sure where to start because you scroll on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and you're like, what the heck, where do I start? There's so much misinformation out there and it's just hurting my head. I think for the time being, let's say it's 7 things, because I think the first thing should be making sure that you're following the right people, and that if you are overwhelmed, do a little unfollow shopping spree. If there's someone on there that you're like, whoa, you're spitting out too much information, or I'm not sure if this is right information, or maybe I don't agree with that, you don't have to be following them. And if that, I don't know, when I consume too much, I can get confused and be like, wait, what do I actually believe in, you know? And I always want to make sure that my opinion, my beliefs come first and aren't that easily swayed just from a TikTok scroll. So if I see something, and if a new study comes out, or if someone posts about something, I fact check. I love this thing called Google, and I use it all the time, and I'll go back into my ACE program that I did, American Council on Exercise, if it's fitness related, fitness or not. Like nutrition is a big one where there's so much misinformation out there, but I will just look things up and then make a decision for myself. And that decision doesn't need to be final. Like I can change it at any point, of course, but it's helpful moving towards your fitness journey when you kind of know what you believe in and what journey you want to go on, because there's definitely several out there. You know, we got people with over 1 million followers that preach keto. We have some people over here that have 350 million followers that post in their waist trainers, you know, and say that they work out twice a day. And then there's, I don't know, people like me that preach a healthy, more balanced lifestyle. And it's just different, and there's a lot of extremes. And my personal opinion is someone that tells me you should only do this exercise, or you should never do this exercise, or you should only eat this, or you should never be vegan, or you should only be vegan. Those like never always words I try to just steer away from, because they're so extreme. Like you can eat a lot of different foods, okay? No one ever died from a Cheez-It, okay? So you're fine, it's gonna be okay. But yeah, that's one thing. Just audit the amount of consumption that you're doing and be aware of like what you're consuming, because it can confuse you. It can get really confusing. But yeah, that's like tip number 0, I guess. And then number 1 is gonna be auditing your daily movement and looking at it. So our phones have a health app, and if you pull it up, you can see what your average steps are at. So it's free, it's the one with little heart. And you can see, if you're on the camera, you can see what I'm holding up right now, but you can see your average steps for the week. I kind of killed it last week, I'm not gonna lie. 12,339 was my average steps this past week. And the reason being is because I am doing the 1% Better challenge. So every day I have to get over 10,000 steps. So it's super easy when I have like a challenge pushing me towards it. But if you look at that, one, if it's not downloaded, download it and make sure that you have it, because that's such an easy, free way to see how much movement you're getting per day, even if it's not 100% accurate. And 2, if it's super low, like 2,000-3,000 steps per day, let's start by adding, I don't know, 3,000 steps. So what I like to say is about 1,000 steps in 7 to 10 minutes. So if you can sporadically take 10 walks per day, your 10-minute walks per day, you'd be hitting 1,000 steps, right? I mean, that's not exact, it depends on your stride, your pace, and things like that, but you can kind of time it out and see what it is like for you. But adding some intentional movement, and I think the key word here is intentional. Like, I am going on a walk to get my steps, you know, to get my movement up, to reach my step goal for today. It needs to be intentional. You need to look at the number. I always say to my clients, what gets measured gets managed. So if we're not looking at this number and just like, okay, I'm just gonna go for a walk, and it's 15-minute walk, and that's all you do all day, and you work a 9-to-5 desk job and you're just sitting all day, that's a problem, right? Especially if we're going to the gym, we're lifting and sitting, your muscles are gonna feel sore, they're gonna feel tight, and it's important to get that lactic acid moving, and it's gonna help you recover as well. So that is tip number 1, audit your daily movement, check out the app. I have the Oura Ring too. So for me, the Oura Ring tells me different data than the health app, which is kind of annoying. It tells me way lower. So on the Oura Ring, my average steps is probably like 10,000, whereas you just saw on my health app, it's 12,000. So weird, because I hold, my Oura Ring is on my finger, right? So it's always with me. And my phone is here, which I'm not always holding. I don't know, I don't get it. If you guys have the same issue, definitely let me know. But yeah, Apple Watch, Fitbit, whatever you use, what gets measured gets managed. Add in the daily movement, figure out when you're gonna do it. So a good thing if you're like 9 to 5 in the office, what I used to do, wake up early, you go to your workout, right? Say you're a morning workout person, you go to your workout, you warm up on the treadmill for 15 minutes on a walk, you work out and then sandwich it, so maybe like a 30-minute lift and then a 15-20-minute walk afterwards. Boom, that's like 2,000-3,000 steps in the morning. Then you're working in the morning all day. Maybe you get to the office, you park further away, so that's maybe 500 steps to get to the office. Then during your lunch break, maybe you split it in half, and if you live somewhere nice, you do some laps with your coworker, and then that's maybe like another 2,000 steps. So now you're at what, like 5,000 steps? And then after work, you go for maybe a 30-40 minute walk to finish it off. Or for me, I love to do a post-dinner walk because it helps me digest my food better too. That's just an example of a way that you can split it up. Another great thing that I always talk about is getting a treadmill desk. It's so incredible to just be able to work and walk at the same time. It just feels like such a life hack that feels wrong almost. I'm like, how am I getting so much done at once? And it's so cool. Anyways, daily movement. Next up is nutrition. So auditing your nutrition. There's a few ways that you can do this. If you are a complete beginner and tracking completely scares you, I would just sit down and write out, okay, I want to have 5 meals per day. Now the reason I like to have like 5 or 6 meals per day is because as a woman, I like to eat frequently throughout the day, every 3 to 4 hours. I like to keep my cortisol levels kind of stable throughout the day. No big spikes, no big insulin spikes. And then it helps me because I'm not super hungry all at once. So let's say I skip breakfast and I just eat at lunch. I'm way more likely to overeat my calories at lunch if I'm going into it ravenous. So let's say you're completely brand new. We're not tracking macros right now. Like, this is brand new. You're gonna have 5 meals per day, right? This is already probably so different for you because maybe you're just an iced coffee in the morning, lunch, and a dinner person. But let's try to change it up because that used to be me, and then it would cause me to binge at night. So I don't want you guys ever doing that. But wake up in the morning, within the first hour, having your breakfast. Then a mid-morning snack, you could do that, or you could do like an early lunch. And then you have another snack about halfway through lunch to dinner. And these snacks, it's not like a 50-calorie like fruit roll up or something like that. Like, this is a substantial snack, like 300-400 calories depending on if you're tracking or not, of course. And then you have dinner, and then maybe you have like a little dessert or snack at night. And by eating this frequently throughout the day and having like never getting ravenous, it really helps just not over consuming in one sitting and grazing for snacks throughout the day, just getting a handful of this, handful of that. And that right there off the bat should help you out with energy levels and potentially lowering your calories a little bit if you're looking to lose weight, And then what you can do is separate that out even further. So you got your 5 meals. Now when you're going to design the meals and make the meals, do you have a protein, carb, or fat? And I have so many free resources on this, guys. If you want them, just DM me and be like, hey Julie, what free resources do you have on nutrition? And I can send them over to you guys. But building your plate is such an important, crucial thing, and something that I do with super beginner clients that are just learning about food, have no idea what a protein or carb is, tracking just with their hands and portion sizes with their hands. So for example, your thumb is the fat for the meal, so that could be like dressing, avocado. Your palm is your protein, I think, and then your fist is your carb, and then the rest of your plate can be vegetables. So that's just a little example that you can use as well. Okay, we got another important one, which is our water intake. Now, going back to the steps, what gets measured gets managed. When you're just starting, we're gonna look at these 6 things and we're gonna write them down. So get your notepad out. So step 1, how many steps do you hit per day? So let's say it's like 2,000 average right now. Do 2 columns, so what you're currently doing and what you wanna do. So steps, you're doing 2,000. What you wanna be doing right now maybe is adding like 5,000 to 7,000. Okay, and then maybe in a few weeks we can check out how you're doing on that and add. But steps, 5,000 to 7,000. Nutrition, okay, brand new beginner. I wanna have 5 meals per day, spread out every 3 to 4 hours, and I wanna have a protein, carb, and fat in each meal. Maybe that's your game plan. Or, nutrition, I know how to track, or I wanna get into tracking, and then tracking your macros would be your new go to, right? So you're having a game plan. The biggest thing to just starting is you can't just have this just start, I'm gonna just, you know, do everything tomorrow, but with no written plan. You need the written plan. So if that, now water. Water is something people probably don't know how much they're drinking until they actually measure it. So what I recommend is, I have a water bottle over there, and basically I know that 1 gallon is 3 of them. It's a pretty big water bottle. So during the day I have this little expo marker and it erases on it, and I'll just tally 1 water bottle done, 2 water bottles, 3 water bottles. So then I can keep track that I had all 3 of them. And about halfway through the day, I have to make sure I'm about halfway through my water, or else I'm gonna forget. Another thing that you could do if you're terrible with water is say, hey Siri, oh, she's actually gonna go off. Hey Siri, set a water reminder every hour for me, you know? And then she could do that, and every hour you'll get a little notification on your phone, like drink some water, so then you can remember, you know? We gotta utilize these things to help us remember, because there's a lot going on up here, and I understand that. It's like you could just go 4 hours and be like, did I drink any water today? So trust me, I know. Water, so have on your piece of paper what you're currently doing for water. If it's like none at all, do, okay, my water bottle says 38 ounces. I don't know, so let's do 128. 128 is a gallon divided by 38 is 3.3 of the water bottle. I mean, you could pick a better number than that, but you can just figure out what that calculation is and then write that in the column. Okay, next up is sleep. This is so important, guys. When you don't get enough sleep, your hunger hormone gets so loud, ghrelin, it will start yelling at you like, I want the worst food. I want McDonald's, I want all of it. I want the Big Mac, Double Mac, I want some chocolate. Ghrelin wakes up, and also you just tend to make more calorific decisions when it comes to your food. So we need sleep, not only because of that, but also because of recovery, because of our brain health, because of our body, because we are not gonna be able to show up at work if we're so tired, and you're gonna get little baggies in your eyes, so we need sleep. What to do with sleep, how to wind down. What helps me is I'll work backwards from the time I have to wake up. So I have to be starting my job at 8, right? And I work from home, so there's no travel time. Now, I also like to work out. So I like to work out at 6:30 to about 7:15, and then that gives me about 45 minutes to get ready for work. So I'm working backwards. So 6:30, I have to get to the gym, so that means maybe I have to wake up, take Gus out, right, and feed him and have a pre-workout snack. So I need at least an hour for that too. So I'm waking up at 5:30. So if I'm waking up at 5:30 a.m., and don't forget, everyone's life's different. Like, if you don't have a dog, this will look different for you. If you don't want to go to the gym in the morning and go later or during your lunch break, that's cool too. I'm just giving you an example. So 5:30, now I want to have at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So if it's 6 hours, that would mean going to sleep at 11:30. But let's do one better and get 7 hours of sleep. So I'm gonna go to bed at 10:30. Now, if I'm going to bed at 10:30, that doesn't mean I'm getting into bed at 10:30, because it takes me at least an hour to go to bed. I should be in bed probably an hour before that too. So 9:30, I'm in bed, and I shut this off. This blue light drives me nuts, and it keeps me awake for hours. I find when I'm on TikTok or Instagram before bed, I'm not falling asleep because that blue light keeps me awake, and it's just like too much serotonin going on and whatever. So I put this away, and I'll either like start reading a really boring book, or I don't know, or I'll read my good book and my eyes just get tired, and then I'm actually winding down and going to bed, and that's super helpful. So I would recommend doing something like that. And then, yeah, working backwards. So that means having a nighttime routine and a morning routine, but your morning routine starts with your nighttime routine. So try to figure it out like that. Again, on your pad, you have 2 columns, what you're currently doing. So write out what you're currently doing for your night and morning routine, how many hours of sleep you're getting, and what your goal is, and work it backwards and actually write it down, like, okay, what time do I have to go to bed? Now, when you're first starting out and you're like currently waking up at 10 a.m., you know, and you're going to bed at like 4 a.m., set realistic standards for yourself. Like, it's so not realistic if you're waking up at 10 a.m. to just go to waking up at 5 a.m. I want you to probably start waking up at 9:30, and then each week try to bring it down half an hour. That's probably realistic for you right now, and that's cool. And that's one step in the right direction. So don't go crazy with these just start goals. go periodically and make sure that you're doing these check-ins, and you can like add a column, you know, do it horizontal so you can keep adding columns. Okay, so we actually just answered the next one, which is routine. So we talked about the morning night routine, so that is number 6. Now the last thing, and this is actually put here on purpose, is your workouts. And the reason it's your very last thing is because I don't even want you to go to the gym or do workouts if you don't have all the above taken care of, okay? I want workouts to kind of be like your last thing that you start implementing, because you're gonna have pretty crappy workouts if you're not getting daily movement and you're not gonna like recover and have that lactic acid buildup, you know? If you're not moving your legs throughout the day. Worst thing in the world, a leg day, and then sit in a car all day. I did that remember last year when Brett and I went to Tennessee during Hurricane Idalia? I did a leg day that morning, yep, and then sat in the car for 13 hours. Do you know how sore I was? That's basically what you're doing if you just sit 9 to 5 and then have leg day in the morning. We do not do that around here. But anyways, workouts are not gonna be good if your sleep's not good, if you don't have a good routine, you're not drinking enough water, you're gonna get really dizzy during your workouts, and if your nutrition's awful, you're gonna have no energy for your workouts, or you're gonna feel sluggish. So workouts is last resort. Now, if you're doing no workouts right now, I recommend doing 2 full bodies during the week and setting the actual days, because why set the days? If you don't, you'll keep putting them off. Like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 workouts this week. Sunday comes around. I'll do them Monday because I start work tomorrow. Monday comes around. I'll do it Tuesday because I'm really busy today. Tuesday comes around. I'll do it Thursday because today and tomorrow I have a presentation. You know, Thursday comes around. Oh, I'll just save it for the weekend because I have a lot more time because I'm at work. Then you get to the end of the week and you didn't do any workouts, you know? So definitely recommend setting the days. I'm doing 2 workouts, I'm just starting back in the gym, and they're gonna be on Monday and Thursday. And that's when I'm going, and I'm making an appointment in my calendar for them. So I would definitely recommend doing that. If you are making it to the gym and you just wanna take that next step, I definitely would follow a workout split. I actually have $10 like programs on my juliexfit.shop that you can do, or you could do one-on-one coaching with me, and with one-on-one coaching I'll design your program. So today's April 17th, this will probably come out tomorrow or the next day, and I'm not taking on clients, and not next week but the week after. I'll be onboarding some new clients. So if you sign up, you'll get a text and a call from my assistant Jord, but we won't have our onboarding call until that next week, just because the week, not this week, but next week, I'm busy refilming stuff for my app for you guys to make it better. So that's why. And then, yeah, that's everything though. So that's how you just start, okay? Let's review. You got 2 columns on your paper. Maybe it's horizontal and you have room to keep doing columns, but you got nutrition, oh no, sorry. You got daily movement, nutrition, water, sleep, routines, and workouts. And then you have you have what you're currently doing and then what you want to do. And then I would do a little check-in with yourself maybe the next week, honestly, and be like, okay, was that realistic for me? Was that too hard? Was that too easy? And then you could adjust the next week. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys enjoyed that and took something from it. Something exciting that I just want to let you know as a happy thing, if you got to the end of this video, is I am in the middle of creating a habit tracker, so where you can put your habits and track them for the month, so that will make stuff like this a lot easier. And I can't wait to just like have a physical thing. Honestly, I'm just making it for me too, like all of us can use this together, and it's so cute. It's like pink and yellow and like spring vibes. So super excited about that. But thank you for listening to the episode. If you guys ever have an episode request, you could DM the Strong with Julie podcast, and I always take it into consideration. Tomorrow I am recording an episode with one of my good friends, Raina, and we're going to talk about fitness myths and debunking some things that are on the internet currently and trends and stuff like that. Again, because the internet can be a scary place, and I just want you guys to feel safe when you come to my page or my podcast, and just know that like this is coming from my personal experience, my education, working with lots of clients in the past, and what I'm trying to do is make this fitness thing easier for you and more simple and not more complicated, like a very tangible way, you know? And I got empathy for you too, because I know how hard it could be to just start, and you know, I just started back on the podcast, and now it's your turn to just start again if you are feeling off on your fitness journey. So I love you, and I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll talk soon.